Pistons Live is presented by Cure Auto Insurance. The Pistons able to culminate what has been a historic season with a 133-120 win here in the season finale in Indianapolis. A lot of smiles, a lot of accomplishments, a lot of accolades individually, collectively. This will be a team that is remembered, and we'll find out obviously in a couple weeks or a couple months just how well they're going to be remembered. As George Blaha and Special K join the show here, guys, you can get emotional just thinking about this team. I know you've been doing this for 50 years. Special K, not far behind. You've seen a lot of basketball. When you look at the accomplishments of this team, George, it's like, what comes to mind for you right now?
Well, it makes you smile.
Yeah.
And early in the year, I could tell for sure what I felt last season even. These guys love playing for J.B. Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, they loved playing for Chuck Daly back in the day and appreciated playing for Larry Brown because they thought he was a genius, which he was and still is. But they love playing for JB.
Yeah.
He's a great guy and a heck of a basketball coach. Yeah. And when your coach pulls guys together and makes them all smile and compete and play for one another, yeah, great things can happen, and they already have.
Yeah.
I'd like to amend just one thing I said both in the pregame and during the game, because I don't want people to misconstrue me. When I talk about this season being maybe the best in Pistons history.
Sure.
Listen, I know the championships trump everything. I'm not comparing it to that. I'm comparing the regular seasons.
Yeah, I got you.
And the regular seasons, I think this is the best one they've ever had because of where they've come from.
That's it. It's a, let's see, 46-win improvement in 2 years, right? From 14 wins to 60. Here we go. So, look, and I knew what you meant by saying that. And again, everybody's chasing the same thing. There's only one Larry O'Brien presented every year, and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but they've done what you have to do during the regular season to put yourself in the best position to get there. And you look at, again, the going to work guys, the bad boys, and now this group. What is their identity? What is their potential to perhaps create another dynasty? We just have to, we'll have to find out. We don't want to rush anything, but the bottom line is you appreciate the present, you appreciate what this group did, and to your point, Greg, how quickly they turned this thing around to get to 60 wins is remarkable. How do you think, you mentioned like with JB, and it's true, you have to have the right guy at the helm. You have to. How do you think this team will be remembered as far as like an identity? I mean, right, the going to work guys, you saw, and they did 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals. They went to work, right, with hard hats on, and the bad boys were the baddest of them all.
Well, these guys, I might even correct Greg. I don't know. You can't correct Greg as smart as he is. But
you can offer another opinion.
Yes, but everybody can have an opinion.
That's it.
We all got noses. We all got opinions. So let me just say this. I think last season may have been the greatest season the Pistons have had because they bounced back from a god-awful record the year before. Yeah. They weren't a god-awful team, but they had a god-awful record.
14 and 68.
And to do what they did last year in JB's first season, yeah, you could see these guys all buying in.
Yeah.
And you could see Cade with some of the weight off his shoulders just a little bit. I mean, he has so much he has to do to make this a great team, and he did it all. But it wasn't quite as hard, I don't think, last season as it had been before. And for everybody, they were smiling last year. Now they're almost laughing out loud this year because it's been that much fun.
Now comes the hard part.
Yeah.
Because if they really want to cement a legacy, they've got to take this thing, they've got to take it a good long way. And I think they're capable. I would not bet against them because the way they have answered every challenge, stared down every piece of adversity that's been thrown their way. I think of some of the games they've won with 4 and 5 and 6 rotation players out.
Amazing.
Didn't blink, just kept on going. So I would never bet against this team. It'll be interesting to see who their first-round opponent is because whoever it is, it won't be easy.
Yeah. And again, we'll find. They're not going to find out till Friday because you got to get through all the play and stuff. We still don't even have the full Eastern Conference it's getting close because everybody's closing up now. But once they solidify the 5 and the 6 seeds, likely going to be Toronto at 5. Atlanta would be in the 6th. And then again, with the play-in, 7 versus 8, 7 versus 8, 9 versus 10. It could be any one of 4 teams that they've had success against, obviously, to this point. And, you heard Kate talk about it. It's okay for people to say, okay, what do you judge on? You judge on wins, you judge on championships when it comes to greatest player debates and greatest team debates. I think this team had a central focus, as Cade says. All the things that came along throughout the year that you appreciate and were able to do, that's great. But they want to do something special, and they've got the horses to do it.
Well, you have to understand, in the first round of the playoffs, Miami, I believe, came from nothing to get to the NBA Finals.
That's right.
So any team you play, as I always say, they have NBA players.
Exactly.
And they all have an NBA coach and an NBA coaching staff. So in order to advance and stay alive in the postseason, you got to take everybody seriously and give every game and every minute your best shot.
What you're watching here are some of the things that the Pistons have done all season to put themselves right now where they are with 60 wins on the season. Sharing that basketball. They had 35 assists in this game, and maybe had it been a game for a longer period of time, they could have gotten the 40. Everybody helping the other. Paul Reed didn't miss a shot tonight, folks. So he is in the record books. He's probably not the only Piston to have a perfect night, shooting over 10 attempts.
I think he's the only one, 11 for 11.
I'm just told most makes, what is that?
Without a miss.
Most makes without a miss. He didn't even miss a free throw in Pistons history. Paul Reed, folks.
You just never know
how I feel about Paul, right?
B-ball Paul, we know. Gregory always says, I love Paul Reed.
So it's either going to be, and that's another one of the nice stories. You talk about Danis Jenkins again, maybe the feel-good story of the year in the NBA. It'll either be Orlando, Philadelphia, Charlotte, or Miami come first round. And they'll handle that when they handle that. And I think, to your point about taking every team seriously, the thing that this team has done, and you noticed even late in the game when Indiana made it a game, you're going to let guys go out there and play. He let his reserves go out there and sold it away, right? It got a little nerve-wracking maybe.
Sure did.
But the coach has total belief in the guys.
Nerve-wracking for us, not for JB, apparently.
No, he was fine. He seemed to be okay with everything. But I think he'll have these guys ready to go regardless of who that, the first-round opponent's going to be.
I agree. And these guys, I mean, they left Boston, New York, and Cleveland in their dust during the season. And in big games late against good teams, they showed all the muscle and intelligence and skill and finesse that you need to win games. So I have no doubt if they bring their A game, and they will, because they always do, they're going to be a tough out for anybody.
I want to say this about this team because we watched it all year. We talked about it, how close they are, the camaraderie, the genuine affinity that they have for each other. I can tell you that I had that in college at Michigan State. It's a special thing. I never experienced that at the NBA level because it's rare. You got grown men. You don't have opportunities really to bond like they do now and take advantage of it. I think that was a big part of their success. I only wish I could have experienced this at the pro level. It's rare. You don't see it very often.
That's what's so special about this group. You mentioned about, the whole Detroit versus everybody, about that. And Kate even said, we're going to play with a little bit more of a chip this year than we had last year going to the playoffs. I thought you were at your best here coming down the stretch, as we say in racing terms, with the way that the Pistons, handled themselves against other teams. As far as, kind of taking that kind of mantra, like you're coming at us, hey, we're going to bring it right back to you.
Sure.
And I thought with some of your calls there, just down the stretch, I thought, the fans appreciated you emptying the clip a little bit about your love for this team and this organization.
Well, thank you. The fans are the best. None of us would have a job if it weren't for the fans. So thank you, everybody, including my wife, Mary. Happy birthday. You come to every game. You watch every game. And there's so many other people out there like that.
Yeah.
Like like Donna Kelser and Mrs. Kelser.
Yeah.
Then
one day I'll join you guys.
Well,
By the way,
we've seen your mom.
clean shaven Johnny Kane. That'll make somebody happy.
Yeah, maybe. No, it's been great, man. And to your point, there's so many people that enjoy it. It's a blessing. It's a true privilege. It's like one of the greatest privileges of my life to be able to cover this organization, and for you guys doing it more than almost 90 years combined.
Yeah, but we don't take it for granted. It is a privilege.
Sure it is.
I look back on it many times and just give, great thanks for what has been a wonderful opportunity. I never could have envisioned something like this at the end of my playing career. This is what I wanted to do and have been blessed to do it. And George, as we always say, man, we've learned a lot from you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from you guys. And Johnny handles things magnificently when he's in the spotlight. So keep it going, buddy.
Appreciate you, buddy. All right, very good. All right, this will be our last show on FanDuel Sports Network. Obviously, it's going to go to the national broadcast once we get into the postseason. But you're going to get an opportunity. You'll be calling Pistons basketball on radio alongside Rick Mahorn. So people get a chance to hear the voice.
Radio's a great way to do a game.
I love radio.
You got a challenge.
That's it.
You can't just let the play go by and catch up later. You got to be on it at that moment. And
you'll be
it's a wonderful challenge.
Yeah.
So everybody's got to bring their A game.
Yeah, you'll bring it. So look forward to listening to you, and just appreciate you guys coming on, to kind of put a bow on this season. We're going to go take our first break here. But a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be reflective on for what's been a magnificent regular season, and now we ramp things up as we get ready for the postseason. Is JB Bickerstaff available just yet? Do we know?
I mean, it just is a sign of the work that's been done by everybody who's a part of this. Front office, coaching staff, players, medical staff, everybody that's touched these guys and helped them, with that consistency, with that effort. But I think it's a group thing. And everybody who's been a part of it should be celebrated for it. But again, like you said, our work's not done, and that's the mentality that we have. But there is an appreciation and respect for all the work that everybody's put in to help us get here.
And then, I mean, you could talk all season, even going back to preseason and media day about just the depth of the team and how talented they were. But when was the first time you knew that you had a team that could possibly reach 6 years?
It was in training camp, to be honest with you. The competitiveness in our training camp, the amount of guys that showed what they were capable of and how they could help us on both ends of the court. We left there as coaches, with some very difficult decisions that had to be made as far as who was going to be able to be in the rotation night in, night out. And we knew that we had a deep team, and we knew that we had a bunch of guys that were committed to playing a style of basketball that we thought could be successful.
JB, I know you don't really like reflecting on your past, your career, but what does winning 60 games for you mean to you personally?
Again, it's one of those things that you don't think about, right? You just do the job every single day. And that's what this organization has allowed, us as coaches to do. It's allowed us to coach the team the way that, we best see fit, to work hard with them. And then the guys developed and got better. And, none of the stuff that happens without their development, without their growth. And so for me, it's just fun to be a part of being able to see that. And especially because of the character of the guys that we have on the team, to see them grow, to see them develop, to see them improve, is special for me.
And you guys are going to have about six days off. How do you go about utilizing that time to get this team ready for the playoffs?
Preparation and more preparation. And I think that's good for us. Systematically, we can clean some things up. We can study our opponents, dive in a little bit deeper than you typically can through a regular season with so many games coming. So you just try to put your guys in the best position possible to go out and get the job done.
I know you say gives you more time to study your opponents right now. There's 4 teams, one of 4 teams you guys will be able to play. How much will you guys pay attention to the play-in tournament and just see who's next week?
Yeah, I think you have to. You got to pay attention. You watch tendencies, whether it's the team, whether it's individual players, all those things. Especially in games like this that are so meaningful, things can be exposed one way or another. Appreciate y'all.
Work, and more work. The job is not finished, but what a heck of a way to end the regular season. Pistons win at 133-121. We'll look ahead at the postseason pitch. When we come back, you're watching Pistons Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Pistons Live on FanDuel Sports Network is presented by McDonald's of Michigan. Snack wraps are back. And by Cure Auto Insurance. Visit Cure.com today and save. The joy on the Pistons sideline following this one as they complete the season with 60 wins with JB and Isaiah Stewart and the rest of the crew out there just enjoying what they were able to accomplish tonight. Let's get to our FanDuel Casino thrilling play. There was a lot of them, if you want to be honest. The leading scorer in tonight's game was Paul Reed. He had 26 points to pace everybody, and he didn't miss a shot. A perfect 11 of 11 from the floor. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. He also had 6 rebounds. Remember, Paul Reed in the starting lineup tonight in place of Jalen Duren, but a masterful performance from Paul Reed, who is now in the history books. And I want to let you know that FanDuel Casino is the home of Huff and Puff slots, where new players get limited time offer of 1,500 bonus spins. You know, we talk every time we come on after a game, you know, we highlight the different people that are able to step up, that whole next man up mentality. You hear that all the time in sports, but it doesn't always come to fruition. But the Pistons, you know, even on a night like tonight, they're near fully healthy. Wanted to be a little bit careful with Jalen Duren, just dealing with some knee injury maintenance, and they plugged Paul Reed in, and he has 10 points in the first 5 minutes of the game. That depth, obviously not just the depth at the 5, but that depth from top to bottom on this roster could propel this team to a deep postseason run, and we're all just going to have to sit back, watch, and find out for ourselves. But Paul Reed now standing by at the podium.
My teammates were just, you know, finding me and giving me the ball in positions where they know I can go score it and be effective. And I wasn't out there trying to force anything, you know, just trying to play the ball, play basketball the right way. I mean, it's a huge accomplishment for us. I think we know that we have a lot of room where we can improve. But I think as reaching 60 wins is a big step forward for us. And, yeah, it just, you know, it's cool.
When you guys look at the fact that you guys won 60 games and also getting the success that you guys had last year, what would you say has been part of What would you say has been part of the reason why J.B. Bickerstaff has been the perfect coach for you guys?
I think he's been a perfect coach for us because he fights for us, you know? It's not like he's fighting against us. He's trying to put us all in positions to be successful. And when we're out there on the court playing, I feel like we all feed off that energy. And we want to go out there and play for him and play hard for him. And he wants to go out there and coach hard for us. So it's like a good balance. No problem.
And Paul Reed going to want to save one of those stat sheets. Again, most field goal makes without a miss in franchise history. Terrific. If you missed the Cade Cunningham interview, we will run it for you when we come back. Again, as he looks ahead to the playoffs, which are coming next weekend. You're watching Pistons Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Pistons Live on FanDuel Sports Network is presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Visit Cure.com today and save. And by your local Toyota dealer. For all Toyota offers, visit Toyota.com. 60 wins accomplished by Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham, and the rest of the boys here tonight. Well, he's smiling.
Tell him run me 60, man. 60 of them things. 60 of them things.
You guys got to 60 wins. What are you thinking about right now? Like, what's in your mind?
The playoffs, man. We're excited about it. Playoffs on the mind. So it's been a great regular season. Now it's time for the real fun.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, for sure.
How different is it going to be? I mean, there's a lot of people want to savor what you guys have done to this point, but I know for you guys, in a lot of ways, it's just beginning. Like, how different is this going to be now as you ramp up for what could be a deep run?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be no different than last year besides, we have more experience and just a better team, better feeling for our system and everything. And we got a chip on our shoulder a little more than last year. So I'm excited for the city. We're bringing playoff basketball back, and we can't wait.
When you look at this group, like, we know how close-knit you guys are. The guys just left the floor, but, like, what will your memories be of, like, this particular group of men?
Man, we've had a lot of fun this year, for sure. We've bonded off the court. We've taken care of each other. So, I hear from other guys that haven't been, with this team their whole careers, like me and some of the guys. But, like, they say that this is special. You don't find this everywhere. And, over the year, we've all come to realize that. So we're going to savor it, and we're going to try to extend it as long as we can.
There's a lot of people who are going to be looking forward to watching you guys back on the home court come next Sunday for your first round. What message would you give to the people that have been behind you all season?
Yeah, just come on back out, be loud for us, and let's get some wins. My dog.
All right, I'll let you go, man. Enjoy it with you guys.
Sorry, appreciate it, Johnny.
Appreciate it. All right, Cade Cunningham, special performance tonight. Special season for everybody. George, looking forward to having you and Greg on the show here as we put a bow on the 2025. All right, so obviously a rerun of the interview we had just, right after the game ended. So I mentioned that the Pistons will be playing on Sunday. You heard Cade say, encourage everybody to come out and be loud. I just want to remind everybody how it works. Obviously, the Pistons, as the 1 seed in the East, they're going to face one of the play-in teams. So we now know what it's going to look like. So actually, if you look on the right side of your screen first, so Toronto with the win today moves into the 5 seed. Atlanta moves to the 6. So the TBDs, you see the Pistons will face the 8 seed. The Celtics will face the 7 seed. So the 7-8 game, which is your bottom left hand of the screen, that's the Sixers and Magic. The winner of that game moves on to face the Celtics. The loser of that game still has an opportunity to make the playoffs. That's because the other play-in game, top left, Charlotte and Miami, whoever loses that game is out. Whoever wins that game would then have to beat the loser of the 7-8 game. So again, we'll just have to see how it all plays out. But the Pistons are going to face one of 4 teams in that first round. It would either be Charlotte, Miami, Philadelphia, or Orlando. Somebody in that play-in bracket is going to have to win 2 games in order to earn that 8 seed. So a lot still to be determined. We won't find out until Friday of who the Pistons' opponent will be. They'll have an off day on Saturday, and then the first game of the first round for the Pistons will be Sunday at home at Little Caesars Arena. It's going to be incredible. So just looking back on the year, I want to thank everybody for tuning in all season long here on the FanDuel Sports Network. Everything from here on out will go to national coverage. But be sure to root on the boys, the Pistons, red, white, and blue. There's no better team in the NBA, and they got an opportunity to do something special here moving forward. So for all of us at the FanDuel Sports Network, we say thanks for watching Pistons Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, and we hope to see you sometime down the road. Until then, Godspeed.